Okay, we are back for aftermath time. It has finished Leicester City 2, West Ham United 2 at King Power Stadium in a game which saw two lacklustre teams fight out for a point, even though the opposition on the day for us was the better team. West Ham managed to nick it and get themselves out of jail in stoppage time in the second half. It wasn't very convincing performance from West Ham, I have to say. There are a lot of bones to pick with overall aspects of the performance. Both managers, I think, were at fault for their tactics in the game. And if you look at it from a bigger picture, both managers made decisions with their teams that hindered their respective performances. And I'm going to be talking about things that went right for West Ham today, individuals who played well, and talk about the overall game as well, as I usually do with the aftermath anyway. So let's start off with the team lineup, shall we? I expected changes to be made. One obvious change was that Manuel Lanzini came in for Saïd Benrahma. That might just be because of Lanzini's impact off the bench in the Norwich game. Didn't think Benrahma was particularly... Sorry, not the Norwich game, but the Watford game, rather. What am I talking about? In the Watford game, Lanzini came off the bench and assisted Bowen. Lanzini started. Diop had to replace Zuma during the warm-up because Zuma was feeling ill. I thought Zuma was injured, but it turned out he was feeling unwell. He was feeling sick. So everyone was fearing the worst when Diop came into the starting lineup, but little did we know that we wouldn't have to feel like that during the game. I didn't feel like the opening 5 minutes were particularly interesting, but West Ham managed to take the lead with just under 10 minutes gone of the first half. Lovely goal. And Issa Diop was the person who got the assist. I believe he got a similar assist when we played Leicester at the London Stadium last season when he assisted Lingard goal. He helped to assist the Lingard goal with a hoof ball upfield. Same thing from Diop in this game. Long ball, hoofed up the field, straight into Bowen. Amati, I believe, is the Leicester player that plays Bowen onside. Bowen, one touch, controls it, gets into a one-on-one situation with Schmeichel and fires it low into the net. 7 in 7 for Jarrod Bowen. Really special player we've got here. He is lightning right now, and Gareth Southgate now needs to start taking notice. Bowen got another goal today. Really good from him. Leicester kept passing the ball around, but not forward, and they struggled in West Ham's half. If I noticed anything with Leicester, is they were intent on trying to foul West Ham players a lot to get the ball back and making rash tackles, passing the ball back around the defence and not really going forward. Got the ball into West Ham's half, West Ham just won it back and then went in the other way. A lot of players went down, kept slipping. Bowen went down, Antonio went down, Soyuncu went down for Leicester, just to name a few. Was it because of the weather and the heavy rain? I don't know about that. Leicester did play quite rough in that first half and committed a lot of fouls. As for our fullbacks, they weren't having great games. Sofal has been poor for most of the season. Harvey Barnes started to suss out Sofal and skinned him a lot. Cresswell as well, put in solid blocks but had nothing in terms of his crossing game. And lo and behold, it was actually Aaron Cresswell that conceded a penalty just before half-time. Handball, right decision toward the penalty. I don't know what Cresswell was doing, putting his arm up like that when there was no need. He could have just headed it like that, but put his arm up, knew what he was doing. Tielemans is the one who's given the ball to take the penalty. Fabianski does go the right way, but Tielemans creeps it into the corner of the net. It's gifting Leicester a goal at this point, one that they didn't really fully deserve, but it gives them a little bit of a confidence boost. It avoids the players being booed off at half-time, that is for sure. Leicester still didn't play too well, though. They still weren't playing to their best, and they have actually struggled this season. In fact, they haven't won a Premier League game in the year 2022 yet. And that's got Brendan Rodgers nervous because he could be getting the sack soon if things don't improve. For West Ham, I wanted Fornals, Lanzini to step it up in that midfield. Those two seemed to just loll around the midfield a lot. And when they got the ball, they didn't do much with it. They didn't pass it forward. They seemed timid. Sofal looked hesitant to commit to tackles or even close down anybody. Cresswell wasn't doing great. He gave away the penalty, bear in mind. And also, on the plus side, though, Diop was having a good game. He wasn't error-prone in this. Diop actually had a really good game. And I've got to give credit where credit's due. Dawson having a good game. He was solid blocking and dispossessing in the final third. As the second half started, Kofal still looked hesitant. Leicester played the ball on the ground and played it fast on the ground with good passing movement. And they cut through West Ham a lot more. They cut through the midfield. Players like James Maddison, Wilfred Ndidi making passes to the wingers. Harvey Barnes, went up with Sofal like that. Getting into him. And lo and behold, it was Barnes who put a cross into the box and Ricardo Pereira headed it into the net. Sofal wasn't entirely to blame for the cross going in, but Cresswell was to blame for losing his man at the last moment. Pereira scored against West Ham in that 4-1 drumming that we had back in February 2020 time. I remember that well for the wrong reasons. Sofal at this point needed to come off. He needed to be subbed off. And I'd even start Ashby next week. That's how it's gotten. Ben Johnson was needed in this game. What's happened to him, I don't know. Why has he been frozen out? He was quality in the few games that he did play, and he's quite young. Cresswell's position in this team needs to be questioned. He could be dropped, and he should be dropped. Defending was just en masse for West Ham. Why was Jarrod Bowen getting back to defend? Because Sofal wasn't doing it. Why is our winger having to get back and then go back the other way? I felt sorry for Bowen having to defend like that. Really, I did. Then West Ham made a sub. Fredericks came on for Sofal, and you're thinking, oh yeah, that's great, right back for right back. But what's Fredericks' best trait? Giving balls away and not defending, which he doesn't do. No one could link up. Everybody was just close to each other. No one was playing a free-flowing game. Whereas for Leicester, Rodgers just seemed intent on sitting back and trying to grind out the win. Leicester still had chances. A ball went across the box that was not tapped in by Daka. But it could have been 3-1 and game over at that point. We got lucky. Vlasic came on for Fornals. Benrahma came on for Lanzini. And when Benrahma came off the bench, he had a shot on target and tested Schmeichel. Benrahma had a positive impact from the bench, which I think is a good thing. First shot on goal, that was as well from Benrahma. And the first shot for 70 minutes from West Ham. How bad is that? We didn't even shoot the ball for a full 70-minute period. Now, the only shot before that was the one that went in. Thinking, it's going to be drab. Leicester's going to nick this. We've been poor. About to write it in my tweets, but no. Corner, 90 plus first minute. Jarrod Bowen whips it in. Dawson into the net. It did look like it came off his arm. It would have been quite controversial. Leicester fans will feel aggravated by the decision, but whatever. 2-2. And West Ham nicked a point. We got ourselves out of jail. And this result, in all honesty, papers over the cracks. The lack of signings was evident. Antonio had an alright first half, but second half, I don't think he even touched the ball. Having a backup striker is essential for any club. I think we're the only one club in the Premier League not to really have one. But we didn't have it. We didn't have our backup striker. Only players really that can keep the heads up are Fabianski, Dawson, Diop, Bowen. And Benrahma, when he came off the bench, made an impact. Everybody else was poor. Our Czech mates, Souček and Soufal, have not been great this season. Soufal, I don't know what's gone on to him, but I'm starting to see why we might have paid a very measly £5 million for him. Souček has been up and down this season. He's had a lot of downs. He gets possession of the ball and then he's very clumsy with it. He's hesitant again. Our players right now, a lot of them are very nervous and tense, and I don't know why. We need to make changes for the game against Newcastle, and I expect to see Ashby, I expect to see Johnson in. And we just go again next week. We'll take the point, but we got out of jail. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you like it, hit the like button. Don't forget to sub for more content. Take care, everyone, and I will see you all soon.